Welcome everyone to this edition of Looking at Louisville. I'm Chaz.
Hi, I'm Stacy.
And we are here in Crescent Hill, standing in front of the Dark Star Tavern, where every week they have live bluegrass. In fact, it's coming alive in Louisville, right?
That's right, Chaz. Truly, Louisville was once the epicenter of bluegrass music, and arguably, some would say, still is, keeping the traditional music alive.
Now, bluegrass music started in Kentucky, right, with Bill Monroe?
That's right. Bill Monroe is the father of bluegrass music. In the 40s, he and his band, with Flatt and Scruggs, the Bluegrass Boys. And it's really a combination of a lot of genres. They took influences from country music,
Celtic,
gospel, mountain music, just good old-fashioned roots music, and blended it all together and created a unique style. And the reason it became known as bluegrass as a genre was because of Bill Monroe's name of his band, the Bluegrass Boys. When he broke up with Flatt and Scruggs, they both started touring individually, and people started asking for that music that you played with the Bluegrass Boys. And so over time, it became known as bluegrass. Started right here in Kentucky.
And it's a phenomenon. It's kind of like when you go to New Orleans, you want jazz.
That's right. Go to Memphis, you want blues.
Right, and when you come to Louisville, you want bluegrass.
You've got to hear bluegrass music. Louisville is one of those cities that's truly keeping it alive because there's a place just about every night that you can go watch a band, pick and grin.
Well, you know, there's a lot of places we need to head and check out, so let's get started.
Let's go. We're here on the stage of the historic Clifton Center in Clifton, and we are on the set of Kentucky Homefront with the executive producer, John Gage. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here.
Well, John, tell us a little bit how Kentucky Homefront got started, how long the series has been running, and all that you do with it.
Well, it's been actually going total 20 years. All right, we have a very narrow focus because we focus on regional artists. And instead of importing music, we like to think of ourselves as exporting music from Kentucky, from this region. The one thing that's different right now is I see more young people getting involved than ever before. Although that's always happened, but this time you have so many acts, like people tonight, the 23-string band. It may not emerge as traditional bluegrass or traditional old-time country music, but it has a real deep root, not only in the old-time tradition, but also in modern articulations of that too. But I believe the music happened here. It didn't happen somewhere else. I'm talking bluegrass specifically.
It's
Kentucky's music. And I think it was because of the hillbilly music from Appalachia and blending with country and blues and stuff like that with Bill Monroe. That was birthed here for sure. And it's Kentucky's gift to the world. And actually, the world is catching on.
There's a lot of flavors going on in bluegrass that, you know, they span a few different genres. Country, blues, jazz, sort of everything. So music is music.
Bluegrass is the music we play, the music we love. It comes from the heart of the people, the real folk of the community. We just get out there and working people.
Well, Chaz, we've made it here to Blue Bar at the downtown Marriott, and we've run into the band tonight, Hickory Vaught and Friends. They're not your enemies, right?
Not my enemies that I know of.
It's a local bluegrass band who makes a weekly gig out of playing here at Blue. You said for how long?
Close to 5 years.
So every Thursday night here at the bar, and you play for a couple hours?
Yeah, we play till about midnight, 8:30, 9 o'clock till 12.
All bluegrass, all the time.
Well, you know, it's everything we do has a bluegrass flavor with it. Well, I think we have a great bluegrass scene here. You know, you can almost stay as busy as you like. Plenty of venues, a lot of good talent. You know, there's just a tremendous amount of bands out there using the instrumentation and taking the grassroots of bluegrass and mixing it with their own style and coming up with just some fantastic stuff. I think bluegrass was never ever meant to be in one place or one style of music. It was created from several other styles, and it just continues to grow. It's just a beautiful tree, and it's got good roots.
Chaz, you don't get more homegrown in the state of Kentucky than bluegrass music, except for the great dinner that we just had.
I agree 110%. We were talking about the Harvest, the new restaurant that opened up here on Market Street in the Art District, and honestly, it's incredible. It truly is one of the best restaurants I've eaten at in a long time. Not that there's other restaurants in here that aren't good in Louisville, but I tell you, Harvest is great, and the reason that they're great is because it's owned by a farmer, right?
That's right. It is Louisville's first farmer-owned restaurant, Ivor, who we talked to earlier, and he's getting all of his ingredients within a 100-mile radius of Louisville, except for coffee.
And the ambiance is really nice because you look around and it's very simple. The tables are this raw wood, and we noticed over here in one of the areas where people sit across the wall, it's a church pew, and you got these tables that kind of mismatch, so it's very folksy, very homey. But as I said, it's kind of like upscale vittles.
Well, it is. It's rustic and homey with a very contemporary, modern feel, if you can imagine that. But you've got to come here and check it out. The food is amazing. We started with some great appetizers. We had the bread platter of the day, which today was hog jowl bacon scones with a sorghum butter.
Oh, it was awesome.
And then we had what they call, if I'm pronouncing it right, a lasagnette, which is basically a single-serving lasagna with goat cheese and mushrooms. It was also incredible. And then what did you have for dinner?
I had like a vegetarian pot pie, and it was incredible. The sauce that came with it, the preparation. I'm really speechless.
Yeah.
It's really that good.
I had the herb ricotta gnocchi, which is an Italian potato dumpling in a bolognese sauce, and I will say I'm Italian, and it's unlike any other bolognese I've ever had. Mark had barbecue chicken. Now they usually have a fried chicken on the menu with a buttermilk gravy, which I've seen before. He had the barbecue tonight, and it looked amazing with a spinach slaw and a warm potato salad.
Now the food was impeccable, but then of course we've always got to have desserts. So what do we have?
We hardly had room for it this time, but we had one of their signatures, a chocolate cake with a mint filling. Their kernel mint filling, and then we had a bread pudding, which was delicious.
It was all good, and that's the great thing about the Harvest. Not only the great harvest of music that we have in the state of Kentucky and in Louisville with bluegrass music, but about this restaurant here on Market Street. So if you would like more information, just go to GoToLouisville.com, or you can send us an email, podcast@GoToLouisville.com, or you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So as always,
you're looking at Louisville.
See you real soon. On 3, 2, look at me, how are you doing?
Hello. Professional.